Ladies and gentlemen, when that alarm clock goes off in the morning, you've already started a battle. The fight between getting up and staying in bed, between faith and fear, between purpose and procrastination. Now let me tell you something. How you start your morning determines how you finish your day. You can't expect to walk in power if your thoughts wake up in panic. You can't expect to win in the world if you're losing in your mind before your feet even hit the floor. I learned this the hard way. Back in my early days, I used to wake up and go straight into worry mode. Bills, pressure, doubts, problems. And all that negativity became the filter I saw my whole day through. I was already defeated before I stepped out the house. See, what you let dominate your mind in the morning, that's what's driving the bus all day. You're feeding your heart with stress. Don't be shocked when everything feels heavier than it should. Now let me flip that for you. When you start your morning with intention, when you wake up and say, God, thank you for another shot. When you say, I am blessed, I am strong, I've got what it takes. You walking out that door with a different energy. You walk like a person who expects something good to happen, like a person who belongs in the room, like somebody who knows today ain't just another day, it's another opportunity. You ever notice how some people walk into a room and they just command attention? That's mindset. That's not money. That's not fame. That's not luck. That's a person who's been talking to themselves right before they talk to the world. That's a person who prepared their spirit for the storm before the clouds even showed up. That's someone who said, no matter what comes at me today, let me ask you something. What are you feeding your mind when you wake up? Is it Instagram, the news, a list of problems? Or are you speaking life into yourself? Or are you saying, I'm here for a reason. I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. My steps are ordered. Something amazing is about to happen. Because whatever you plant in your mind first thing in the morning, that's what's going to grow all day long. Some of y'all walking around with storms in your mind because you keep giving your mornings away to chaos. You wake up reacting instead of creating. You wake up anxious instead of grateful. Let me tell you, you got to own your morning. That means you wake up and you decide, this is the energy I'm carrying today. This is the attitude I'm choosing. This is the voice I'm listening to. And it ain't fear. Don't wait until life calms down to find peace. Start your day with peace and watch how you walk through chaos. Don't wait until everything's perfect to feel confident. Start your morning with confidence and you'll face imperfection like a warrior. That's how champions think. That's how successful people move. They don't wait for the day to be good. I want you to understand this. Your power is in your patterns. Your destiny is in your daily disciplines. You want to change your life? Change how you wake up. Set the tone. Set the temperature. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't adjust to what's around you. You set the atmosphere. You walk into your day and declare, I'm not running from anything. I'm walking in purpose. Let me tell you why this matters. Because life will test you. People will frustrate you. Situations will stretch you. But if your mind is grounded, if your morning was rooted in something strong, those tests won't shake you. You might bend, but you won't break. You'll say, I prepared for this. I got up this morning and reminded myself who I am. I spoke power over my life. I reminded myself that I'm built for this. You can't leave your mindset to chance. You can't just hope you feel good today. You got to choose it, speak it, stand on it, write it down if you have to. Today I choose faith. Today I walk in confidence. Today, I will not be distracted. Today, I will not let fear control me. That ain't just positive thinking. That's battle strategy. That's how you build mental armor. That's how you walk through fire and don't smell like smoke. You got to make up your mind every morning that you're going to live with intention. Because if you don't run your day will run you. You'll get pulled into everybody else's drama. You'll start reacting instead of leading. And next thing you know, the day's gone. And you did do one thing that mattered to you. That's not living, that's surviving. You were not created just to survive, you were created to thrive. And that starts with how you think, speak, and move from the moment you open your eyes. So tomorrow morning, before your feet hit the floor, before you touch that phone, before you check that inbox, I want you to check yourself. Ask, What kind of day do I want to have? Then create it with your thoughts. Build it with your words. Claim it with your energy, because the way you speak to yourself in the morning, that's the compass for your whole life. And once you get your mind right, everything else starts to follow. Let me tell you something about affirmations. They ain't just cute little quotes you read on Instagram. They're not just nice words you stick on a sticky note. No, affirmations are your mental workout. They're your spiritual push-ups. You want strength, you want growth, then you got to build that inner muscle, and affirmations are how you train it. Think about this. When you want to get in shape physically, you don't just think about it. You don't just look at people at the gym and wish you had their body. You get up, you go to the gym, you sweat, you struggle, and eventually you see change. Now your mind is no different. You can't expect to be mentally strong, emotionally grounded, and spiritually rooted if you're not putting in that daily work. And that work, that's your affirmations. That's what you speak over yourself. That's how you talk to your soul when nobody else is listening. Every morning when I get up, I tell myself who I am. I say it out loud. I say, Steve, you got this. You're covered. You're favored. You're chosen. Today's another opportunity. You've survived everything life threw at you. Don't stop now. And some days, I don't feel it. Some days I feel tired. Some days I feel discouraged, but I still say it, because your feelings don't build your future, your faith does. Affirmations ain't about pretending everything's perfect. They're about training your mind to believe that even in imperfection, you're still capable. Even in the middle of struggle, you're still valuable. You see, your mind will believe whatever you tell it the most. So if you're constantly saying, I can't, I'm not enough, things never go my way, then guess what? That's exactly how your life will feel. Heavy, limited, hopeless. But when you flip that script and start saying, I am enough, I am equipped, I am progressing, something shifts. Your energy changes. Your decisions change. Your results change. You want to win in life? You got to get in the habit of speaking like a winner. You got to train your inner voice to match the vision you have for your life. Because that voice, that little voice inside your head, it's either going to be your biggest coach or your worst critic. And the more you affirm the truth about who you are, the louder that coach becomes. That's why every day I speak life into myself. Even if I'm in a storm, even if I'm in a dark place, I speak light. Because darkness can't stay where light is being declared. And don't get it twisted. This ain't about ego. This ain't about walking around like you're better than everybody. This is about knowing your God-given worth. This is about walking in the identity you were created with. Because the world is going to try and tear you down. People will doubt you. Challenges will shake you. But your affirmations, that's your anchor. That's your armor. That's your reminder that no matter what comes, you've got something inside you that can't be broken. Some of y'all realize that you've been living in limitation because of the way you talk to yourself. You've been waiting for someone else to believe in you when all along, God's been waiting on you to start believing in you. You've been silent too long. You've been letting fear have the mic too long. It's time for you to open your mouth and speak victory. Speak healing, speak growth, speak progress. Don't wait until things look right. Speak it until they become right. Now, let me be real with you. This takes discipline. It takes commitment. Just like going to the gym, you might not see results after one day. You might not feel stronger after 1 week, but you keep showing up. You keep speaking truth. And eventually you'll look back and realize you're not the same person you used to be. You'll walk into rooms you used to feel unqualified for. You'll take risks you used to be too scared to take. Why? Because you did the inner work. Because you trained your mind to believe in possibilities instead of problems. See, your mouth is a powerful weapon. The words you speak are either building a future or blocking it. That's why it's so important that every morning before the chaos of the day starts, you take a moment to center yourself, to speak words that align with the life you want to live. I am focused. I am at peace. I am ready. I am connected to something bigger than me. I am walking in purpose. These words, they carry weight. They create momentum. I'm telling you right now, don't underestimate the power of repetition. You say something to yourself every day. It starts to become a part of who you are. You start to embody it. You start to live it. That's not faith, it's faith. It's believing in what you can't yet see. It's knowing that your voice carries authority over your direction. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're tired of living in fear, if you're tired of walking around like you don't matter, it's time to change your language. It's time to get in the mirror every morning and remind yourself of your greatness. It's time to look your doubt in the eye and say, you don't run me anymore. Speak power, speak truth, speak victory. That's how you rise. That's how you break generational cycles. That's how you move from barely surviving to boldly thriving, one word at a time, one day at a time, one affirmation at a time. Keep showing up, keep speaking up. Watch what happens. When you wake up in the morning and look yourself in the mirror, you need to say it loud and proud. I am capable of handling anything that comes my way, not just the good stuff. Not just when the money's flowing or the sun's shining. I'm talking about the hard days, the setbacks, the unexpected losses, the moments when life hits you so hard you don't even know where to start. You've got to believe deep in your soul that no matter what shows up at your doorstep, you got this. See, life doesn't wait until you're ready. Life doesn't give you a heads up. It doesn't tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to throw a storm your way. Just thought I'd let you know. No, life just happens. One phone call, one accident, one betrayal, and boom, you're in it. And in that moment, the only thing that can carry you through is your mindset. It's what you tell yourself. And if you've been feeding your spirit with strength, then when life swings, you'll know how to swing back. You've survived more than you give yourself credit for. You've overcome battles you thought would break you. You've cried in silence, held yourself together in chaos, and got up even when your heart was heavy. That's not weakness, that's strength. And every time you've made it through something you didn't think you could survive, you've built a little more armor. You've added another brick to your foundation. You've trained yourself to endure, to bounce back, to fight through. That's why every morning before the day begins, you have to remind yourself, no matter what this day holds, I'm built for it. You've got to wake up like a warrior. You've got to walk into the world with your head high, not because life is easy, but because you've already been through hell and you're still standing. That kind of strength can't be taught. It comes from living, from failing, from healing, from rising again. Let me tell you something personal. I didn't get to where I am because life was smooth. I've been broke, I've been laughed at, I've been rejected, I've made mistakes, I've doubted myself, but every single time I reminded myself that God didn't bring me this far to leave me. I reminded myself that if I'm still breathing, then I still have purpose. And that right there, that's what got me through the dark. That's what made me unstoppable. Not money, not fame, not success. It was belief. It was knowing in the deepest part of my soul that I could handle it. You've got to stop thinking you're too fragile to fight. Life ain't easy for anybody. But some folks win simply because they refuse to quit. They refuse to let fear dictate their path. They refuse to let one bad chapter define their whole story. And that same power is in you. You've got the power to rise, to rebuild, to redefine yourself every single day. But it starts with how you speak to yourself in the morning. It starts with that moment of truth when you say, I don't know what today holds, but I know who I am. And who are you? You're a fighter. You're a survivor. You're someone who's been through fire and came out stronger. You're someone who's fallen and learned how to get back up. Don't you dare let doubt tell you otherwise. Don't you let fear hold the mic in your life. Fear is loud, but faith is louder if you let it be. And faith says, I'm not alone. I'm not powerless. I've got everything I need inside of me to win. Now hear me out. This ain't about being perfect. This ain't about acting like nothing affects you. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. But after the tears, you wipe your face, you square your shoulders, and you get back to your purpose. Because your future is counting on you. Your family, your dreams, your calling, they're all counting on you to believe that you are capable. Capable doesn't mean you know all the answers. It doesn't mean you won't get tired. It means you trust yourself enough to figure it out. It means you got the courage to keep moving even when the road is unclear. It means you wake up and decide, I may not control what comes at me, but I control how I respond. That's power. That's what separates winners from warriors. So if today brings you a challenge, don't panic. Respond with strength. If you face rejection, don't shrink. Stand firm in your value. If the door closes, don't stop. Look for a window. Because you're not someone who folds. You're someone who fights. You're someone who believes. You're someone who doesn't wait for perfect conditions. You create progress with what you've got. That's how champions are made. When you say to yourself every morning, I am capable of handling anything that comes my way, you're not just making a statement, you're making a declaration. You're aligning your spirit, your thoughts, and your energy with victory. And the more you say it, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you live it. And before you know it, life won't scare you the way it used to, because you'll know you were built for this. Every morning when you open your eyes, you're already blessed. Let me tell you that first. Before you check your phone, before you think about your problems, before you start stressing over what you didn't get done yesterday, the simple fact that you woke up means you got another shot at life. Somebody else didn't get that. And because you did, you have the power to decide what kind of energy you bring into this new day. It ain't about how much money you got. It ain't about how perfect your life looks on the outside. It's about what's going on in your heart and your mind. And one of the most powerful things you can do is wake up and say, today, I choose to be positive and grateful. Now, let me be real with you. Life will always give you a reason to be upset. You might have bills piling up, people stressing you out, things not going your way. But see, you get to choose how you respond to all that. That's your power. You might not control what happens around you, but you sure control what happens within you. And when you decide that no matter what shows up, you're going to be positive, you're telling life, you ain't going to steal my peace today. Choosing positivity doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It just means you're not going to let negativity live rent-free in your mind. You're not going to sit there feeding it, watering it, letting it grow. Instead, you say, yeah, I got problems, but I also got blessings. Yeah, I'm facing pressure, but I also got purpose. Yeah, it's tough, but I'm tougher. That's the mindset of a winner. That's the mindset of somebody who's going somewhere. And you know what else? Gratitude. Man, gratitude changes everything. I don't care how bad things get. There's always something to be thankful for. The roof over your head, the food on your table, the people who love you. Even the small stuff, a good laugh, a warm cup of coffee, a moment of peace. When you train yourself to see the good, you start to realize how much good there really is. But when all you look at is what's wrong, that's all you'll ever see. Let me tell you from experience. I've been broke. I've slept in my car. I felt hopeless. But even in those moments, I found reasons to be grateful. Grateful that I still had my dreams. Grateful that God hadn't given up on me. Grateful that the story wasn't over. And I believe that's what kept me going. That's what helped me fight when I didn't feel like I had anything left. Gratitude keeps your heart full, even when your hands are empty. It's a choice you got to make daily. You can't wait for everything to be perfect before you start feeling thankful. You can't wait for success to be grateful. You can't wait for people to treat you right before you decide to treat them with kindness. Gratitude is not about what you have. It's about how you see what you have. And positivity, that's not about smiling through the pain. That's about knowing the pain won't last forever. Somebody's going to cut you off in traffic today. Somebody's going to say something slick. Something's not going to go according to plan. That's life. But you still get to decide, will I let this mess up my spirit or will I stay rooted in peace? That's power. That's maturity. That's growth. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it is, but it's worth it. Because when you choose to be positive, when you choose gratitude, you start attracting better things into your life. You carry a light that people feel. You become someone people want to be around. You become a leader not just in title, but in spirit. You start lifting the room just by walking into it. You stop reacting to every little thing. You don't let negative people bring you down to their level. You lift them up to yours, or you leave them behind. because your peace is valuable, your mindset is valuable, your spirit is valuable. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it. So every morning, you've got to tell it something good. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm thankful for the opportunity to grow. I'm open to joy, to peace, to blessings today. That's how you reset your energy. It's how you step into the day with confidence. That's how you say, no matter what's going on around me, it won't shake what's inside me. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for the right circumstances. Wake up and create the mood. Choose the perspective. Set the tone. That's how real change happens. Not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone you touch. Because when you're positive, when you're grateful, you give other people permission to be the same. You become an example of what's possible when faith is bigger than fear. So tomorrow and every morning after, say it like you mean it. Today, I choose to be positive and grateful. Let that be your fuel. Let that be your foundation, and watch how your whole life starts to shift